Welcome back to the Ranton Podcast 3 live. It's been a while. We're back in the hood. Back with your questions this time. Last time I forgot to answer the Patron questions. God damn it.
A money grubbing whore.
Yeah, that was a big fail. So I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna do them right at the beginning of the podcast, so I won't forget them again. Rachel asks, if you could pick one YouTuber to have on your podcast, who would it be? We kind of answered that question already before.
Yeah, it was me, right?
You wish, boy. No, we had Review Bra. And by the way, that was something so awesome to see. You know H3H3? One of the biggest YouTubers. He has a huge podcast. Mm-hmm. And he sent on Twitter a message to Review Bra asking if he wants to come on his podcast.
Oh, boy.
Make it happen, boy. Make it fucking happen. If I see Review Bra, that little awkward... I always say, Review Bra is proof that not all lizard people are here to hurt us. No, it's true. It's true. He's a messenger, messenger of love.
To check out the food on the planet.
Yes.
To find out if it's suitable for lizard people. Yeah,
Review Bra is just, he's here to save us all. He's the Messiah, and nobody realized it. So, but I would love to have Angry Joe on the podcast. I talked about this too. Tak Fuji, Uwe Boll, you know all that stuff already. I think that who else is there? Who would you like to see on who would you like to talk to?
Maybe the game developer of Path of Exile. That would be interesting.
I don't know. I'm not so interested in having game developers on the podcast. Maybe someday.
They're maybe sometimes a little inhibited in front of a camera because they
nerds.
They don't want to say anything about. Yeah, we kind of fucked that one up.
But you know what's interesting? My Tiny Metal review.
Yeah.
I wrecked that game really hard. Behind the scenes, the lead director of that game actually, got in touch with me and everything. Yeah. What a nice fucking guy. Awesome guy. And their game, they patched it up and it's still not very good, I think. But the guy is hardworking. He's a cool guy. Very nice. He even sent me some good ramen restaurants in Tokyo.
Oh my god, that's
like insider
proof
advice.
Of love, man.
Yeah. Because I told him, I'm going to Japan 2019. Yeah. Do you know some good ramen place? He's like, yeah, go there.
If a Japanese person wants you to find good places to eat, then he respects.
But who knows? Maybe he was fucking with me. Maybe there's some Yakuza action right there. Where
you get fried ramen with kakalaka.
Cockroaches. Yeah. So game developers, maybe. I would there's somebody on YouTube who has kind of stopped doing YouTube videos. A couple of years ago, he stopped. Mm-hmm. And he was like, he's one of the most important musical comedians of our time. Do you remember? Does anyone out there remember John Lajoie?
Oh, of course, yeah.
That guy is a legend.
The Canadian shit eater.
The guy is such a legend.
Yeah.
Why did he stop?
I mean, he stopped YouTube, right? But he didn't stop his.
I don't know.
His thing, all right?
I don't know what he does now. Okay. I think he does maybe stand-up comedy. I know he started acting.
I mean, you can't take him seriously after what he did on YouTube.
He's such a legend. He's like a real talent, and that guy I would love to have on.
What about Filthy Frank?
Filthy Frank?
Yeah.
Oh, Filthy Frank. The thing is,
a little too filthy for you.
No, because obviously the guy doesn't do interviews in character, and if he did, then I would have to hide all my equipment because he would destroy everything. And Joji, do you know that he actually stopped?
Yeah,
Frank, like officially,
he's a real musician now, right?
Well, yes. Whether you like his music or not, that's up to you. But he does serious stuff now. Mm-hmm. Of course, I mean, I got 13,500 subscribers, so beggars can't be choosers. Of course, I've had anyone. I would have Trump on the podcast.
Yeah. That would be tremendous.
Tremendous. I would have anybody who's willing to come on the podcast. I'd have him on. Yeah. So the next question, other question is, what has been the hugest disappointment for you out of the games that have come out the past years? What were you really excited about that completely let you down? Oh, great question. There are a couple of games where I was like, just reviewed for the channel. I would have never even touched these games if I didn't
like
it wasn't for the channel.
The indie horror game in the house, for example.
The Nightfall. That was a game. There was nothing else out. The review is hilarious. I think it's really funny, but I would never even. This game. How did Berkeley say esse est participi or something? Being means being perceived. Yeah. I wouldn't have perceived this game. Yeah. It wouldn't have been in my realm of existence. But whatever. But that wasn't a letdown. I just played it. It was a piece of shit. I got wrecked, so finish. Hellblade, I think, was one of those games where I thought,
The Senua Sacrifice?
yeah, it's like, whatever, play this game, and then, oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
Then,
You're not answering the question.
what was the question?
What's disappointed?
Biggest disappointment.
So Hellblade is pretty much the anti-answer.
Biggest disappointment. Name some games that I reviewed.
So, on the top of my head, there's one game that is, for me, probably one of the biggest disappointments ever, and that was Dawn of War 3.
I'm not as disappointed in that as you.
Yeah, that was really a low blow.
Did you hear that they just recently said
stopped
support?
doing anything? Yeah.
Fucked. Get
oh
like,
my god, that
absolutely
was
fucked. I installed it again a week ago.
Yeah, I saw you play it. Yeah.
And I thought I'm gonna play a match online. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Started playing. 5 minutes into the match, I'm
What am I
bored.
doing?
Quit the match. And the guy probably flaming. Yeah, it's a dead game. It's really not bad. What did they fuck up exactly? For me, it was the whole MOBA aspect of it that I thought wasn't bad, but just
why? That was just. I didn't think it took anything away from the game. That was just unnecessary. But the real problem with the game was just its pacing. It was
pacing.
The units just didn't feel like they did anything. The either did no damage at all. You could have two groups of units fight each other for 10 minutes, or then you could get a hero that uses one ability and explodes.
I thought your biggest problem with the game was the shortcuts. Being able to edit
that was, of course, that's more meta. I mean, not being able to
assign
key
bindings
is so 2000.
Yeah. For me, the game, I already got triggered when I heard they're gonna launch the game with 3 factions. Because I smelled some bullshit right there. I was like, okay,
well, I
get it.
You know, StarCraft, best strategy game ever. 3 factions.
But for me, Dawn of War. When I think Dawn of War,
Yeah,
I connected to the good old LAN party days.
Yeah,
you got 7 factions.
You got 12 factions.
And nobody gave a fuck about balancing. It doesn't matter.
Just you want to play your Necrons or Tyrannus. You just want to play with your favorite. That was the best.
For me, Dawn of War is about having a shit ton of factions and just going at it.
And that's what got them the fans. Dawn of War 1 was the best game of this entire series.
I actually think that Dawn of War 2 now has a huge fan base. It sort of developed from... They got a lot of hate when it launched.
Because it's very different from the first game. But people grew to like it.
Watch my Dawn of War 3 review. It's a funny review. But
that was my biggest.
I think I gave it a 7. I think it's good.
Yeah.
It wasn't a huge disappointment for me.
Okay.
I thought, hey, that's fun, but it's not what it could have been. You know?
And I have another one. News from yesterday. So yesterday evening, Path of Exile launched its newest league.
Who gives a fuck about Path of Exile?
Man, I'm gonna tell you guys. If there's one game I'm playing, it's Path of Exile. I'm playing it since beta non-stop. This is the best game ever. And yesterday, Path of Exile released its new league. And when they announced it a few weeks back, I already thought, well, this mechanic... So every league, there's a new mechanic.
Okay.
And then when the league ends, after 3 months, the mechanic is gone.
The mechanic? What mechanic?
So a new game mechanic. For example,
you can jump.
You can encounter portals that open and then monsters spawn. And next league, you can encounter holes in the ground and you can go in there and find loot or something. So every league, there's a new mechanic.
Yeah.
And this league, it's Pokemon League.
What?
You get Pokeballs and you can catch certain Pokemon in the world.
Yeah.
Of course, they're not Pokemon. It's still Path of Exile, but...
That's funny.
Yeah. And when they announced it, I already thought like, ooh, isn't it going a little bit against what you're doing in Path of Exile?
Go.
Like killing everything and getting loot? Well, and it turned out yesterday that actually this league is a total disaster. And today in the morning, the lead developer announced that they're going to be making a huge overhaul of this entire mechanic. And
really?
Ouch.
But Path of Exile is one of those games where you would say 10 out of 10, one of the best games ever.
Yeah, of course. For me.
But the thing is, I'm not a big fan of these top-down isometric
ARPGs.
ARPGs where you just spam the mouse clicking.
Yeah.
That's why I never got warmed up to Diablo.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, God, oh my God. A big disappointment this year.
Yeah.
The Evil Within 2.
Oh yeah, that game. Oh my God, the
GameStar, one of the best games ever.
Rip off your balls.
I was about to do qigong in your ass. Oh, that was ridiculous. The Evil Within 1.
Amazing. Absolutely 10 out of 10.
Incredible.
And then the second game, the first, I would say 2 hours, pretty good.
I think the whole game was good. But it's just, and towards the end it got better and better. But afterwards I realized, well, nothing really happened.
I thought
no good boss fights.
No good boss fights.
Nothing creepy.
No intriguing, clever,
story
constructed
was crap.
Yeah, it was not creepy at all.
Yeah. You're within too. One of the reasons why GameStar is a bunch of
fagots.
Hitler Youth. Just kidding.
Okay.
Oh, Alex, I will stand by this opinion for the rest of my life. Like my reviews, maybe some of you realized since the Monster Hunter reviews. Okay, I have to clarify this. The fun segment of my reviews are more a reflection of me than of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can I explain this? I'm not gonna be objective. How can I say this? I've seen this. I've done this. How can I say this? Okay, example. Very good example. You don't like open world games.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't like open world games. So if you play GTA and you made a review, you would say, I don't like open world games, so let's just say 6 out of 10. Let's just make that up. Yeah. You didn't play the game, but you don't like open worlds. 6 out of 10 because it's open world. People will say, that doesn't make sense. Open world is not a quality problem. That's the genre.
Yeah.
But that is how my reviews are. I don't like this when games do this, so lower rating. I don't like that shit. I'm not trying to be objective. So don't be like...
And any critic that tells you he's objective is a fucking hypocritical asshole.
Try more or less. you can try to be more or less objective, but I'm not trying. This is... if you watch my reviews, you're gonna know my opinion on a game. And this is just the way it is, If I have to punch a monster 60 minutes on one fucking spot, I don't enjoy it. And also, a lot of people wrote in the comments, the Monster Hunter World Review, this is kind of your fault that you didn't have fun. And I think I agree. It is my fault because I didn't understand the game. Mm-hmm. I didn't get the game at all. Mm-hmm. But that was the point I was trying to make about presentation.
The game didn't want you to understand it.
I'm by myself. I don't have a problem with admitting I'm a fucking idiot. So if the game doesn't explain itself well to me, I'm fucked. So I'm not having fun.
Does that mean that there was actually a way to not hit the monster for 30 minutes?
I don't know. I looked at walkthroughs and I saw everybody's fighting monsters for 15 minutes, and the fight they look fucking boring, and they are boring for me.
Okay.
That's why I didn't have fun. I raised the rating up to 4 because I thought I can't go lower than a fucking 4, even though it's not really a 4 from my. But it's the way it is. Yeah. It's the way it is. And for example, there are other complex games that I really like if they do a good job of introducing the mechanics.
Mm-hmm. So not Path of Exile.
Does Path of Exile is complicated?
It's a metal coated fist in your right up your ass.
Is that hard?
Yeah. You will fail for weeks when you first start the game. You will just completely fail, and then you realize, actually, I'm just an idiot, and the game makes total sense.
Interesting. Yeah. So not for me then. What else?
Next question.
Wait, I'm looking at my library right now. What else was I disappointed in? Yeah, the Fractured Butthole was a complete piece of not piece of shit, but very boring. Cuphead was amazing. Mm-hmm. Wolfenstein 2. Did you play it?
Yeah, I played it. And
what are people thinking giving this game 9s and 10s?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not hating on the game at all. It's fun.
It's a solid game.
It's just so generic.
So normal. Yeah, exactly.
What is special about this game? I don't see it.
There's no especially memorable thing.
And the game also just ends.
Yeah.
The ending is...
it just ends.
Yeah. So, I don't know. So my ratings... warning for the future. Be prepared for any game that you may love for me shitting over it if I don't enjoy it. That doesn't mean the game is bad.
Unsubscribe.
And also the thing is, for example, my favorite game of all time, Red Dead Redemption, or if I saw somebody talk shit about that game in a funny way, I don't have a problem with that.
It doesn't make the game worse. Yeah.
I'm trigger resistant. It doesn't make the game worse. If you're having fun, then where's the problem? I have more power to you. So next question. So great questions, Rachel. Patreon is cool. The next one, next person asks, what game or games have made you think philosophically or put you into a state of deep thought or even just straight up mind-fucked you?
Man, that's the perfect segue into my segment.
Into your science segment?
No, into my Nier Automata segment.
Okay, let's talk about that. But for me, I remember when I played Hellblade, I started it, and then I took a break, and I went downstairs and I sat at the kitchen table like, Like, oh shit, there's some like thought-provoking shit
by nature.
it's that game mind-fucked me.
Yeah.
What else mind-fucked me? Cuphead mind-fucked me because I was screaming at the game for 90% of the time, even though it's one of the best games ever made.
Cuphead is just amazing.
The only problem that I have with it, and it's not really fair, is I wish it was bigger. I wish the game was bigger. I wish it was 10 times as... But it's just amazing. I would buy a DLC for that game.
With just more bosses.
More bosses for 10.
If they're all as well designed as
absolutely. Yeah. No issue there. That mind fucked me pretty hard. What else?
For me, there's only
Nier Automata.
Nier Automata. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Nier Automata.
So it's a video game podcast. Let's talk about a video game. I recently finished playing Nier Automata.
Mm-hmm. After me telling him to do it.
Yeah.
Because let's preface this. I start the game up. I thought, this is totally not my thing. And I was like, Andy, this is your thing. And I was right.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It was. So while you're having the internet up, Google the lead developer of Nier. It's a guy called Yoko Taro. And he's a complete madman.
Why?
Just put in Yoko Taro. Yeah, that's him.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
What the fuck?
That's the way he presents himself. He's a completely crazy person. And the way he makes his games kind of reflects
the meme from the black guy?
Yeah. Okay. So, just a quick summary. Nier Automata plays in the future. Oh, there will be huge spoilers, by the way. Nier Automata plays
Anyone
in the future.
who is on 4chan knows what the protagonist looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's a story of a few waifus. No. So, in the future, Earth gets attacked by aliens.
Aryans.
But instead of fighting themselves, the aliens deploy a huge army of machines that are all connected via network, but can make autonomous decisions.
Okay.
So they wreck humanity. The few surviving humans flee to the moon. And to fight back, humanity is kind of shit. So they develop their own robots. They're called androids. And they're pretty much exact copies of humans. Like, they look like humans, only more sexy and...
yes, obviously.
Wearing Strapsen. Wearing Strapsen suspenders while fighting and high heels. Just the way humans would make fighting robots.
Yes, the way that normal women fight.
Yeah, exactly. And then for a few hundred years, the androids fight the machines and no side can gain the upper hand, and that's the status quo. And then... the game starts, and pretty short after you begin the game, you realize actually the Aryans are long dead. They're gone.
And there are only machines on the Earth, actually.
And only the machines are remaining that the aliens deployed.
Okay. Is that a spoiler right now? Obviously, spoiler alert.
That it happens very early in the game, like 1.5 hours.
And the aliens are gone.
They're gone, and it's not even like,
interesting.
You see. There's one point where you enter their mothership, and you see them just as corpses in the background.
Oh, they're dead or gone?
They're dead. Yeah. Oh. And no one even talks about them because it's so long past. The fact that Earth got invaded by aliens doesn't even matter in the game.
So for a long time, the Earth was just empty. The aliens were dead, the machines were left over, and the humans thought the aliens were still there.
Well, no. On Earth, for hundreds of years, the androids are fighting with the machines. Humans are on the moon, aliens are in their ship, and they're just fighting. And then the aliens die, but no one knows it. So the androids and the machines just keep fighting and fighting. And then, shortly after, you learn, the humans are long extinct as well.
What the fuck?
So actually, the whole reason for the entire conflict is non-existent for hundreds of years. And that's a huge point in the story where the characters you meet actually realize, wait a minute, I was made to protect someone and to fight someone else. And both of these factions no longer exist.
Oh, shit.
What am I even doing here?
Oh, shit. And they go against their programming?
Well, they can make autonomous decisions. So
automata.
So a little bit, yeah. Like the androids that the humans made are pretty much self-contained.
But isn't an android a half-human?
They're calling them androids.
The robots.
They're pretty much robots. They for some weird reason have red fluid, but they're not human. They're robots. They don't have to eat. They have no Geschlechtsorgane.
Okay.
And the machines, since they are all connected, but still can have their own decision-making process, also are like, well, wait a minute, what's this even about? If I don't get any orders from, and then for the rest of the game, what you do is you meet machines and androids that have split off from their original plan, which is fight the other faction, and focus on one part of the human society that they may find a remnant of.
Okay.
So, for example, some machines decide, wow, I don't like this fighting. I'm going to go pacifist. And then there's a village of pacifist machines.
But life is all gone.
There's no carbon life on Earth left. There are only machines and androids.
Damn.
And then other machines decide, they find, for example, a old book talking about a king and loyalty. And then they decide to make a monarchy. But their king is actually a machine that's rusting. That's just a rusting clump of metal.
Damn.
Or there's another murderous cult, religious cult, built around a machine that's called Kierkegaard.
Kierkegaard?
So all the machine societies are built around a philosopher. There's one around Karl Marx, which is an industrial one.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and the pacifists are Blaise Pascal.
Kierkegaard, one of my favorite philosophers anyways. Yeah.
And some machines just commit mass suicide because they're so depressed. Yeah. So, and that's what you do in the game. You meet these different machine societies that ultimately, without exception, all lead to disaster. They all either lead to the machines wiping themselves out, and
that's
amazing. Pretty horrible.
That's horrible. That's a great story.
Yeah, and I think for someone to put this into a game, to just tell you, well,
imagine what a great movie that would be too.
This will probably depress you. This will probably make you go, well, actually, thinking about it, that's not cool. Yeah. Only Yoko Taro could do it.
Now that you talk about Nier Automata, now I'm thinking about games that kind of mindfucked me. GTA 4, which I think has one of the... Did you ever play through that game? I think
only
it has
half.
One of the best stories.
Is that Nico Bellic?
Nico Bellic. One of the best stories I have ever played in my entire life. That also Red Dead Redemption. The game is 7 years old. I think that's... I'm going to spoil it now. What happens at the end? Okay, the main character dies.
Yeah.
I remember I was 17, I played the game. Last mission, yeah! Shoot the bad guy, shoot this evil police officer and get wrecked, fool! And then John Marston gets wrecked by these line of 10 police officers. And you have like 5 seconds to shoot at them.
The game even gives it?
My God. The game gives you, and then I died. I was like, God damn it. I didn't say anything, God damn it. Turn off the Xbox, turn on again, I fucked it up.
Yeah.
I did that 4 times. It's like, then I looked up online, how do I kill all police officers at once? And then it popped up, John Marston dies. And I was like,
I know he dies, you idiot. I want to beat him.
I thought, no. My brain was too young to accept this fact. And then can you continue the game as the son? Which is fine. The game is an open world game, so you can keep playing after the credits, and you play as the son, and you kind of see him grow up a little bit, and it's cool. And it's a great story, great ending, and looking back, it had to end this way. But that destroyed my life. That really fucked with my head. GTA 4, great story. Now, I'm about to say something. Camera is on again? Yes? I'm about to say something very controversial.
Oh boy. Prepare your anus.
GTA 5. Oh, shit. GTA 5.
Never touched it.
In my eyes, one of the best open world games of all time. I've never played the online mode. I'm not very interested in online multiplayer anyways. But I think the game as a single player experience. Okay, let's start like this. The story, okay, hold on to your dicks. The story is shit.
GTA 5 story?
Is one of the worst stories. And when I read the reviews, I was shocked that nobody said it. And it's interesting because the characters are all fantastic. There's something very interesting that happens. You have amazing characters, fantastic writing, great interplay between the characters, great relationships, amazing. But you have no story. And I played through the game, and I was like, pretty long prologue, I thought. Pretty long prologue. 15 hours in, credits roll. Like, what? What a fucking joke. Still to this day, when I think back of GTA, I think one of the one of the most fun open world games of all time, but one of the worst stories I've ever seen.
Okay.
I can't even recall what happens. It is so boring.
There's huge of a difference between GTA games.
GTA 4 got a lot of hate. And to be honest, I get why. Because if you look at San Andreas, all the things you could do, GTA 4 was kind of a step back in terms of gameplay, in a sense. Because there were only helicopters, no planes. There wasn't a chainsaw. You didn't have these crazy... There wasn't crazy funny stuff. San Andreas was an insane playground. GTA 4 wasn't really that. And GTA 5 went back to this craziness a little bit. So on a gameplay level... I love GTA 4, but I get where the disappointment came from. For me, GTA 4 is one of the best games of all time because of the story and the characters. But GTA 5, I'm still to this day surprised why nobody says it. One of the worst stories I've ever seen.
Okay, because it's just boring.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, okay.
But the characters are fantastic. I don't know why they did it this way. But I think still a great game and a milestone. Yeah. So that is
I hope that answers the question.
Yes. But he says, for me, an awesome mindfuck was the ending of Bioshock Infinite. Oh, yes. Let's talk Bioshock. Yeah. Very interesting. Bioshock, actually another one of... I feel like this is the podcast where I lose all my fans. I'm sorry, okay? I'm not a story... I'm a gameplay-focused gamer. What can I say, man?
And I'm obviously not.
Yeah, you're a story-focused gamer. And for me, for example...
Plus Path of Exile.
Yeah. For Bioshock, for me, I never warmed up to this franchise. I think it was... And the thing is, you actually agree on a gameplay level, it's very mediocre.
Yeah, I think the gameplay, there's nothing to enjoy there.
I love the Bioshock games, actually, because I read up on them. And I love the videos that people make on them and what's behind it.
Yeah.
But I think as games... I remember playing the first one... After the 16th fucking camera flying around, I was like, I'm gonna shoot myself.
I mean the gameplay really, it's schlampig. It's schlampig.
Lazy? No.
Yeah, it's
not bad. It's not bad. I think
the 99% of the energy of the developers went into creating a amazing world.
Yes. And that's why this game, I think, scored so well, because this is what people like. For
example,
I'm telling you right now, if I reviewed a Bioshock game, rating would probably be around a 6 or a 7. Why? Again, why doesn't mean it just means that my focus when I review a game is gameplay.
Yeah.
This is what I care about the most. A good story for me is like the cherry on top. I can go without it. If it's there, great. Yeah. I love a good story, but I don't really give a shit. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I agree that the ending of Bioshock Infinite is, I mean, the entire thing, Bioshock Infinite is exceptionally well done.
Yes, I agree.
Everything fits together so well in the game.
The audio logs and the first hour. Oh.
Every time you enter a new vista and you see the flying city, it's amazing. Like the whole thing is amazing except for the gameplay.
But you know what? Well, it's not bad. Do you feel like it was bad?
I mean,
I don't think it was bad. It was just very boring.
Yeah, it was boring. So boring is pretty bad.
I think the first Bioshock had a better vibe. The vibe to Bioshock 1 was something that no game has been able to imitate.
Yeah.
Very unique. Different vibe. Yeah. Not better or worse than Bioshock Infinite. Yeah, just different.
It has this underground claustrophobic atmosphere.
Yeah, it's eerie as fuck. You're in this underground city. It's like, what the fuck is this place?
But it's not a horror game. It's not
I was creeped the fuck out.
Scary, but it's eerie. I think eerie fits the game.
The first one of the first levels was the medical ward. That was creepy. With the doctors, the surgeons running around, I got scared shitless. And the ending, Bioshock 1 is really, that's why I do agree that it's overall one of a milestone.
Exactly,
I do think so.
Even no game before it did it in that way.
In terms of story.
System shock maybe.
That's what the thing, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I just think for me, it's not, you know what I'm saying? You know? So really a big milestone in terms of storytelling in the world. Absolutely. Okay, next Patron question. When SAO will become reality. Sir, what is SAO? Okay, good. Already fucked.
SAO.
SAO. Sword Art Online? Isn't that the anime? I think that's an anime where people get sucked into the game. Did you watch that? I didn't watch it, but I think that's what he means, right? Sword Art. Okay, so let's just keep reading the question. When Sword Art Online will become reality, how human culture will change? Okay, I'm sorry. Nazarov, that's your name. Am I getting this? Just want to know your thoughts, and I think it's interesting topic. Sword Art Online. So I think maybe he's talking about virtual reality, kind of. If
so games where you log in and you're inside the game.
Like the movie Gamer. Remember? With Jared Butler?
Or the movie that's coming out in a few weeks, the Ready Player One.
Yeah. That looked cringy as fuck.
Yeah, but the book is great.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think the only thing what I can say about this is that these new technologies, like the Wii, the motion controls, the Kinect, the VR. I remember the VR hype really blew up about a year ago when everybody's like, okay, now VR. VR is going to take over everything. I'm telling you bitches right now, none of this is ever going to replace gaming with this thing or gaming with a controller.
Yeah.
It's never going to. And it's a very simple reason. People, you don't feel always like standing up and dancing around like a fucking idiot. I think VR, when this technology advances, is going to be a fantastic tool for actually jobs, like
for example,
simulating other things.
Yeah.
It's never going to replace gaming. They're going to be great VR games maybe in the future, probably, but it's never going to replace this right here, this game mouse. So I never bought into this VR hype.
You heard it here first. $500 Oculus Rift is worse than $10 mouse.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, I gotta admit, this probably ruins my entire argument. I never tried it before. And I heard from people saying that when you try it for the first time, it's insanely amazing. And the thing is that my argument is not that it's not amazing. It's just that it's never gonna replace real gaming.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it can't. That's why the Kinect fucking died.
Nothing beats just flutching on your couch.
Just chilling.
Yeah,
you don't want to move
there
much.
In a very unhealthy position with a controller in your hand and nothing else to pay attention to.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to dance like an idiot around the room. Always. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Is it possible? I hope that answers your questions. Is SAO Sword Art Online? Do you think it's ever...
Maybe it's something entirely different.
First, I thought it's search engine optimization.
Or I thought something AI related, but...
Maybe it's like some sexual position.
How will it change culture?
How will this sex position change culture? I don't know. Do you think we will ever be able to get like sucked into like to digital... load our brains?
Like maybe theoretically, but I doubt anyone would want that. Why would you...
Anybody will do anything.
Come on. I don't think enough people will want it for it to be profitable, so then it won't happen.
Yeah, it will be used for other things, not for gaming, I think. Mostly.
Yeah, maybe that. Maybe to torture prisoners.
Yeah, probably. Is it possible in some of theory to transfer the Okay, this person, I think, let's translate this into good English. No offense. So is it possible in theory to transfer the human consciousness? Okay, so now I'm pretty sure he meant...
Like in Altered Carbon, the new Netflix series.
Yeah. Did you watch that? I see the light blink. I think it's on. No problem.
Is this one on? I haven't seen any episodes, but I've seen...
So he was talking about transferring consciousness into some sort of digital...
So the idea in this series is that you find bodies, suitable bodies, and then you pay some organization and they transfer your consciousness from your old and aged body into a new young one. So you basically become immortal.
Aren't there already plenty of shows that do that?
I mean, it's not very original. It's just that's the idea of the series.
I don't know. This whole thing doesn't interest me that much.
Yeah, no, me neither. I mean, there are a few games where the idea gets taken and put into an interesting setting. Like, for example, Soma, the successor to Amnesia.
I didn't say that. You said it was fantastic.
Exceptionally good game. A little bit like the first Bioshock, because it also plays in a facility on the bottom of the...
Is it creepy also?
Not necessarily.
Aren't those the same developers from Alien Isolation?
No. They're the developers from Amnesia.
Okay.
So no weapons, just walking simulator and hiding. Yeah. But the game Soma is not really focused on horror. It's more focused on getting its thing across. So it can be an interesting topic, but I don't think it like there's only so much you can get out from it, and I don't think you can make an entire Netflix series interesting just having this.
Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe some people like it. I don't.
No, not really particularly interested in it. My question is Kevin Spacey or chocolate milk?
Is that a Michael Jackson related question?
Kevin Spacey or chocolate milk? I don't want to step into any weird territory here.
It might be a minefield.
Kevin Spacey or chocolate milk? I'm scared to say anything.
Does it have anything to do with molestation? Or? I have
Kevin
no idea.
Spacey, great actor, but pedophile. Bad.
Chocolate milk,
Chocolate
delicious,
milk, tasty.
But
no homo.
Looks like diarrhea.
No homo. Okay, so that answers your question.
Ask a real question next time, you fucking idiot.
No. Anyways, supporting me on Patreon is a great way to support the channel. $1 for you makes a huge difference for me. It really helps grow the channel. And I'd love if you come over here and maybe send $1 a month for... It's like buying me a McDonald's coffee a month. Once a month, you think, hey, this fucking fagotini, I will buy him 1 cup of coffee. Why not? You know? That would be very nice.
Were those all questions?
Yeah, those were all the Patron questions. Now we can talk about... I wanted to talk about, favorite games.
Yeah.
Fallout 4. Very, very quickly. Fallout 4. This game came out when I was in Shaolin Temple. And I saw the reviews, and I saw, on average, the reviews were around 8 out of 10 across the board. Some people went lower, some people went higher. And when I played it the first time, I thought, this is the best thing ever. Everything better than Fallout 3 in New Vegas. What an amazing game. Fantastic. 10 out of 10. The more I played it, then the issues kind of popped out. And now I wanted to say this. The 2 biggest problems with Fallout 4 are 2 things. Number 1, the dialogue system. Did you play Fallout 3?
Yeah.
The fantastic thing about Fallout was always the choice that you have.
Yeah.
I know choice is not really your thing in video games, but I love to have choice. And I'm pro-choice. No, just kidding. Just kidding. No, maybe kidding, maybe not. No political statement. No political statement. Just my brain shitting out stupid puns. So you had choice, and the thing about Fallout 4 is the game is faking choice a lot of times. And this is something really that hurt me a lot in my heart when I realized this, because after several playthroughs you realize no matter what dialogue option I choose, the same shit's happening. There's no choice. And also the choices that they give you are extremely black and white. I said this in my Kingdom Come Deliverance review. You want to help the poor beggar, or you want to vote for Hitler? It's like, this is the worst kind of choices that you make. You want to help him? You want to blow up his life and his family and rape his children? Like, wait, there's a lot of in between. So the game really has a problem with the dialogue, fake choices. Okay. That's a problem that comes more apparent the more you play it. When you play it for the first time, you don't notice it at all.
Because you don't know the consequences of your other choices.
You make a choice, you think, okay, now I did the right thing, the outcome, blah, blah, blah. I could have made a different choice. Sometimes you can, a lot of times you can't. And often it's a real black and white choice. And the second thing is I have over 250 hours on Fallout 4. That's a lot, but that's not that much. Other people have even more. And I realized Fallout 4 does not have enough quests. Very interesting issue. The game does not have enough quests. That's a big problem, I think. You are basically done with the game and all the main quests in 50 hours, and that's not okay.
And then the game, the world is practically...
Well, you can still scavenge places, you can level up.
But there you have nothing really
plenty of secrets, but no more nicer, bigger quests. And also, I know that map size is not really that important. It's about how much detail is in this, how rich is the world. That can manifest itself through size, no homo, or just...
Density,
yeah. But I think
survive.
Oh god. Fallout 4 is a smaller world. It's very dense, but I do think it's too small overall in what it offers. The game is slightly too small. Skyrim, there's no bottom to this pit. I have all my different characters and playthroughs together at least over 1,000 hours on Skyrim.
And you haven't even come close to...
Well, I do think I've done all the bigger quests. But still... I'm still loving it, kind of. It's so weird.
Skyrim is...
You should play it.
I mean, I played Skyrim. I played a character to level, 70 or 60.
That's really high.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Wait. Serious?
Yeah, but not doing quests. I was just... I was doing this typical... I have this main quest here, but this thing looks interesting. Let's go.
That's what's so great about Skyrim.
And I loved
Skyrim. Skyrim is just endless amount of fun and just fucking epic. So this is what I really like. But this is actually the perfect segue, because when I played Skyrim the first time, I played it on Xbox 360, and I loved it. But there's one problem what Skyrim has: the vanilla version, without mods, Skyrim has a problem. And that's why I cannot play vanilla Skyrim anymore. Not enough weapons and equipment.
Yeah.
This is something what really kind of is a problem. Also, I remember my first playthrough of Skyrim, camera on? I was really focused on blacksmithing, on smithing.
Yeah, and that's what I did in the first.
Yeah, and then I realized really quickly I had the Daedra armor.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's the best one.
Yeah.
And then I realized...
Or the Dragonbone armor.
No, Dragonbone is not the best, I think.
No? Is Daedra the best?
Daedra is the best heavy armor.
Okay, yeah.
I think Dragon is light armor.
Okay.
So, and then I had the best armor, and then I played. I didn't find any better armor.
Yeah, exactly.
I looked up online. It's like, that's the best armor in the game.
Exactly. And you can't upgrade your armor anymore.
You can upgrade it. You can improve it.
But it's you're just upgrading the Daedra armor. Is it that there's...
And that was real. That was the first negative what I noticed ever about Skyrim. That was around 35 hours in. I thought, I don't like that. The great thing about World of Warcraft was
you can always
there's always a better piece out there. There's always a better piece. And then I thought, wait, I have the best armor? Yeah. That sucks.
That's the main selling point of Path of Exile. There's always something better.
And I have the best piece of armor now. What am I bothering looting people for?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I've always put the immersive armor and immersive weapons mods into the game. They expand the armory and everything by so many beautiful looking pieces. I cannot play Skyrim without these mods.
Okay, yeah, I mean...
But that's, I think, the only real issue what I see in vanilla Skyrim is not enough armors. And I'm really interested, do you feel the same way? And, I might add, I want to say something here right now. Incoming Biff!
Starting some drama.
I'm not going to call out any other YouTuber. I'm not even actually thinking of any particular YouTuber, just in general. A lot of YouTubers say, write in the comment section your thoughts. How do I say this? Do you know what I mean? Like, I haven't even said what I mean, but a lot of YouTubers, big YouTubers, tell me in the comment section below what you're thinking. Does any of those motherfuckers read the fucking comment section? And if they do, they don't show that they read it. And that's why, if you're my fan, you know that I read the comments because I interact with you guys, and I believe that every big YouTuber, or I'm not a big YouTuber, but every YouTuber who says, write in the comment section below, why? You're just wanting people to comment so your video gets more traction and then gets suggested.
Do you actually benefit from having more comments?
Yeah, I think comments and likes are kind of important because I think they help in the algorithm.
Really, comments?
Yeah, okay. Interaction. I think viewer interaction.
So if I comment on every of your videos and draw a huge penis, you profit from it.
Obviously.
My God.
That's why I think, for example, asking for likes. The thing is, if you want to help my videos, like, I don't care about the likes on the video. The number doesn't matter. But if you want to help the channel grow and you want it to be successful, you should like, because it's
the algorithm.
It's a value. It has value. It's like a currency. Yeah. You give it a like, you make it more likely to come up in suggestions. Yeah. That's why I don't like saying put a like on the video. No, if you don't like it, then don't put. If you don't, but putting a like on it actually helps. I don't give a shit what the like.
Anton's video, or are you Hitler? Pretty much followed.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly. So that's why it really. But that's a different thing. So you know me, when I ask you write something in the comments, I read the comments, and you know, because I have proof, because I answer to people in the comments. And if any other YouTuber say, write in the... Okay. Let's talk about something else. So, but again, tell me in the comments what? Yeah, just what?
Tell me what.
Yes.
How did we get from talking about favorites to talking about Fallout 4 and Skyrim?
Yeah, favorite games.
Because Skyrim is or
yeah, Fallout. Skyrim is one of my favorite games, definitely. Okay. Do you have any favorite game where you would say, like, honestly, this has bothered you about it, or?
Well, okay, so I don't have a favorite game, because different games have at different points in my life had different influence on me. And there's this one game, I'm sure you've heard of it, that has influenced me like no other game can or ever will be able to, and that's World of Warcraft.
Ah, yeah.
World of Warcraft is so much more than just you're playing just a video game. It's really, I started when I was 14 and played it for a couple of years, and
But you played it pretty hardcore.
I
remember
top server raiding guild.
I remember sitting next to you like this when you were fighting against Ragnaros. What's his English name?
Ragnaros. Yeah.
And is in English also Ragnaros? Yeah. You play, and I was sitting next to you. Whoa, so cool! 40 people, everybody shooting at this huge monster. I was like, whoa! And you're like,
yeah.
And I was like 11.
Yeah, and
that's cool.
I wasn't that old back then. I didn't know much.
Yeah.
And meeting so many people that are much older than you, much more mature than you just learn so much from it. And that's why the experience of World of Warcraft is irreproducible.
Very interesting. Because I think, to be honest, I also played World of Warcraft for many years. And the funny thing is, I wonder what you always thought about it. I played World of Warcraft for many years. And you know what my highest
You reached level 40.
I don't know. Okay, listen. I played World of Warcraft, I think, for 4 years. And my highest character I ever got was, I think, 54.
Yeah.
And I played this as my main character. It was my paladin. And I have him in my heart. I don't know why I was so slow. I enjoy in World of Warcraft walking through this fucking world.
The
I loved walking around. I was just walking around begging people in Stormwind for gold.
Please, I can buy mount. I need to buy mount.
That was awesome. It's really, Stormwind is like my home.
Yeah.
I would move into that city any day. I was never a real hardcore gamer of World of Warcraft. I always played it here an hour, there an hour, just walking around, talking to people, having some fun. But yeah, my level 52 paladin or something, legendary. But to be honest, I even gotta say, in a way, every RPG I play, I kind of compare it subconsciously to
World of Warcraft. Yeah, you don't even have to like the game. You just have to see that it's something. It has transcended just being a game a little bit.
Well, but in terms of, for example, in terms of world, it's the best thing I've ever seen. The graphics, okay, you can say they suck.
No, they're super pretty.
They're cute.
Yeah, they're cute.
But in terms of world, it's just the best.
There's just so much.
I'm not going to pretend that I know anything about the Warcraft lore because I don't. I skipped every quest dialogue, everything. I'm a skipper, okay? I skip everything. I used to, not anymore. Since I review games, I don't do that anymore. But
he does it.
Yeah, World of Warcraft is a special one. I think they ruined the game since Pandaria. Since Cataclysm, when they changed some places in this world.
When they made the old world change.
When they changed some of my favorite places in the world, they're
that was a little.
But I'm not really passionate about it. You are more.
I think they still have the person who decided it in a basement in Blizzard headquarters, and they whip him every day.
They didn't change it back. They stand by that.
Well, yeah, of course. Now they can't change it back.
Of course they can. They shit out new diarrhea story every year.
Deathwing comes back, and he's now Repair Wing, and he repairs the world.
World of Warcraft. But that's an interesting subject. Games that are not necessarily good, but that changed your life in a way.
But, I mean, World of Warcraft is pretty much the only one where I can say that happened.
Stop. For me, one of the few games, I think maybe the only game that I played hardcore was Call of Duty 4.
Oh, yeah.
That was when I got...
That was pretty much your World of Warcraft.
That was my World of Warcraft in a way.
Yeah, you were pretty much exactly the same age when I played World of Warcraft.
Yes. And that's when the only time when I really got into pro gaming.
Yeah, I was in communities.
Community. I got into a clan, called Ku Klux. just kidding.
No, it was actually called KKK, right?
No, it was. What was the name? Oh fuck! No, it was called
KSK.
KSK. Corporation System Killers.
Yeah, exactly. It was KSK.
But corporation with a K, like this sounds cool, like KSK, Corporation System Killers. Yeah. That was us. And I was pretty good.
Yeah.
KD 2.5 consistently. That's very good. Know what I'm talking about?
During that period of time, Anton was slobbering about his clan leader every day. Like, he's so good. The clan leader. What was his name? You remember?
No, the clan leader wasn't actually not the best. The best guy we had in the clan was Austrian. His gamer tag was Virus.
Exactly.
That guy was
with a 1 for an eye.
Yeah, that guy
super
was
edgy.
That guy was so incredibly good. But I got also very good. And that's why...
Yeah, man. Watching you play Call of Duty, that was pretty much my first time where watching someone play a game.
And it was on Xbox 360. It was not on PC.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really a great time. I really love Call of Duty 4. That's why it's very sad. I mean, I'm over it, but that's why I'm really sad what happened to the franchise. Because the whole kill streak thing, they ruined it.
They killed the multiplayer pretty much.
Yes.
But the single player...
Did you play Advanced Warfare campaign? That was really bad. Even the campaigns are not as good as they used to be.
Is that the one in space?
I don't remember. I actually reviewed that game. I think it was...
I played the 3 Modern Warfare games. 1, 2, 3.
All 3 campaigns are very good.
Awesome. Yeah. I really enjoyed them.
Then
after that, I
think Black Ops 1 campaign was really good.
Oh yeah, that was
the Vietnam one.
The numbers in the head. That was cool.
That was good. I think the Modern Warfare 2 campaign was the best shooter campaign I've ever played in my life. I had a problem with the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. I think
because it was so non-stop.
Yeah, it was non-stop.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, Eiffel Tower is exploding. It's like, okay. And then more shit exploding and like these
And now I see from space how there's a giant bomb exploding over.
A story only works if you don't have to go boring, exciting, but you have to go build up.
Exactly. To see
climax.
To see the peaks, they actually have to be peaks.
There have to be valleys in order for there to be peaks. Yeah. Let's say it like that. Yeah. And in Modern Warfare 3 was amazing, but it's just constant. Like, oh my god! And then in the end, I was just sitting there like, didn't realize anything anymore. It's just like, okay, the Eiffel Tower is down. That sucks.
There was one mission in Hamburg, and I thought about like, man, I really should be more excited that this is playing in Germany, exactly. And I'm living in Germany, but actually I can't be excited anymore.
Isn't there also one mission when you're in a plane and it crashes? I think you're in the plane with the Russian president, or you're a security guy, and the plane crashes, and then
that's Modern Warfare 2, I think. Is it?
No, that's not. There's also one mission when you're in downtown London, and then gas attack. That was Modern Warfare 3.
Oh my god!
Everything. Yeah. In itself was amazing, but because everything's amazing, nothing's amazing.
So, yeah, pretty much.
In a way, you know.
The correct way would have probably been to just play one mission per day.
Yeah.
And then play Hello Kitty Island Adventure
per year.
Per year.
I still think I really enjoy looking at every Call of Duty game every year for the campaign. Oh. Yeah. Did you play the Call of Duty World War II campaign?
Yes. Yeah.
Good campaign, but it just ends and then it's like nothing.
Yeah, but
very short. Always short, but you can have a great story arc.
Yeah, exactly. There was
nothing.
No, I didn't find it that interesting.
Yeah,
really. But that's also because I'm not really interested in World War II, like historic stories.
Really? I'm sick and tired of the modern warfare shit. No, of the futuristic shit. That I'm sick of.
But it's a future. You have infinite possibility.
That's true, but the way that exactly we talked about this, I think, before. But the thing about the way the future is usually shown is always
pretty
the same.
Bland. Yeah,
it's always exosuit.
Jumping from planet to planet.
I'm so sick of it. Yeah. But whatever, it'll come back. What other games changed our lives forever?
I think that's. I mean, the period in your life where you can be changed most is your puberty, and that was when you played Call of Duty 4. I played World of Warcraft, and that's pretty much it.
Did you ever play the Mass Effect games?
I played Mass Effect 2 for maybe 2 hours, and then
I played Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2. And the weird thing is now, if somebody would ask me, "Hey, what are the best games of all time?" In my heart, I wouldn't think of Mass Effect 2. But then when I think back on Mass Effect 2, I remember playing it and thinking, this is the best thing I've ever played. It's so weird, because kind of like in my heart, I don't feel like emotionally attached to this experience anymore. But thinking back to it, like, boy aboard me. Yeah. Thinking back to it, like,
regressing into your past body.
I remember enjoying it so fucking much that it was one of the best games I've ever played. So weird. I'm planning to replay this at some point in my life again, to just relive it. Yeah, interesting. I wanted to next up talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance. You got schooled, right?
No. I still stand by my Aussage.
If you watch my podcast, didn't you say you thought it was going to be so boring because you're not going to do anything?
Yeah.
And you got schooled, boy.
And you're still not doing it. The combat system is so hilarious.
It's good.
What? It's good.
But I want to say something else. I saw a lot of people complain about the saving system, the way you save in the game.
The drinking thing?
Yes, and also when you go on Nexus mods to mods for Kingdom Come Deliverance, the most downloaded mod is unlimited saves. People are hating on the save system. Okay. And the interesting thing is,
why?
And I thought I liked it. Now it frustrated me to no end. A couple of times I died and I had to replay 2.5 hours.
When you die, you start from the last save.
Last save or last checkpoint, and it happened to me twice that I didn't save, and I had to replay 2.5 hours. And because I was reviewing, I was like, I'm gonna kill myself now.
Yeah, that's mind crushing.
I was like, I'm gonna kill myself. I don't even remember everything I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit. But the thing is, so I do get when people say, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I liked it in a weird way. I didn't like it. No, it's wrong. I didn't like it, but it was my fuck up, because the game makes it clear you can go to any tavern in the game and buy the savior schnapps.
Yeah.
It's not hard to find.
The Savior Schnaps.
It's called Savior Schnaps. That's why the game taught me. After a while, I learned, hey, before I go out on a mission, I go and buy my Savior Schnaps, and then I can save.
Yeah.
And once you get that into your head, actually, it's fine. And I really think that the experience of Kingdom Come Deliverance is kind of built around that idea, because it's very interesting. The game really forces you to make decisions without going back. And that's the point. And I liked it. I don't know why. I think I got what they were trying to do, and I enjoyed it. It really was like a dog. When you teach him what not to do, you hit him. Okay, you don't hit him. Chinese way of mind.
You eat him.
No, but it's like teaching a person what to do. Yeah, okay. You know, you like positive reinforcement. This is negative reinforcement. Yeah. Like you don't save, so here, get wrecked, play again. Yeah. That's why I learned, hey.
Yeah, that's pretty.
You can even learn how to brew it yourself in alchemy. You can do it the Savior Schnaps.
So it's that much ingrained into the game.
It's ingrained into the game, and it's not hard to do at all once you learn. Once you can do it.
So people are just fucking retarded.
I don't know. I do get it in a way, because, to be honest, when you play Skyrim or Fallout 4,
you save all the time.
You save all the time.
That's true.
Before you're trying to convince somebody, you save. Yeah. Convince failure, load. Try again. Yeah. Try again,
kill him.
Yeah, try again, kill him, try again. And that's what they were trying to avoid, and I kind of like that about it. But I get where people are coming from in this case. Yeah. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Ooh! Now I want to talk about favorites. I'm really in the zone today. It's very nice. Talk about... Or do you have another game what you want to talk about, which really formed your dick?
Maybe later.
Maybe later. Favorite shows? How long have we been on? I feel like 1 hour limit. Let's just go on.
Yeah,
forever.
It's been quite a while since the last podcast.
Let's just celebrate the occasion.
This is episode 3 and 4.
Yeah, episode 3 and 4 together. Favorite TV shows? I've been watching recently again, The Big Bang Theory. And I wanted to say something about it.
Okay.
We get it, these guys. Okay. The Big Bang Theory. It's getting a lot of hate as of recently, the past few years. And I think 100% rightfully so. Because when you look at the season 5 and then more, like higher, I don't know what changed behind the scenes, but the show is not funny anymore. I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean this in a rude way. Like, the show is literally not funny. It's complete shit. But then I start to watch it again from season 1, and this shit is hilarious. And then I remember why I loved it so much. This is genuinely funny. And I remember you also really liked the first few seasons.
Yeah, the first 2 or 3 seasons.
I actually think the first 4 or 5 seasons are excellent. And I don't believe anyone who says this is not funny. This shit is hilarious, and I love it. But something happened, I think season 6 or 7.
I can tell you what happened.
I disagree with you on the reason, but go ahead.
Yeah, so my diagnosis is that Big Bang became more popular, and then the writers decided, well, since it's so popular, we need to have something that all of our viewers can relate to. A physics genius, no one can relate to him, so we have to anchor him to the real world in somehow, so that the viewer can relate to him. Let's add women. And that was the most horrible decision, because now it's no longer about some science nerd. It's only about, look at how funny it is to interact with women. He's so awkward. And
do you mean Amy Fowler?
Every woman they added. Every woman they added. They just should have kept Penny, or maybe got Penny out of the way.
The weird thing is, I agree with your logic, but it doesn't go hand in hand with the empirical evidence from my perspective. Okay. Which is weird, because I kind of agree with you. Yeah. But when Amy was brought into the show, I think it was season 4, and at that point I still enjoyed it. So I can't quite pinpoint what exactly changed, but if you look at a season 7 episode, it is not funny anymore. I look at it again, I try my best to get it. It's not funny. And you look at season 1 and 2, and this shit is fucking hilarious. Yeah. That's why Big Bang Theory is, for me, still one of the best shows of all time. If you go season 1 to... Like, I'm now in season 2, so I'm trying to retrace when it started to become shit. In my head, I think I even still liked season 6. I'm not quite sure anymore. Yeah. But I
How
enjoyed
many
it for.
are there even?
I think they're on season 9 or something.
Oh my god!
But I enjoyed it for a long time, and really, 2.5 Men.
I never.
I love 2.5 Men until Charlie Sheen.
Drug addict.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen left, and then it started to suck. But 2.5 Men, great show. So what's your favorite show?
I'm not that much of a show watcher, but I mean,
Got him?
I watched the usual suspects in. No, not the usual suspects, just the usual one, which is Game of Thrones. I love it.
Never watched a single episode.
It just really speaks to me because it's.
Don't spoil anything though.
One thing I really dislike in general about games, series or movies is if they're realistic. I can't find enjoyment in realistic things, historic things, and Game of Thrones has just the perfect amount of.
Not true. You like Breaking Bad?
That's not realistic, dude. It's like physically realistic, but come on, like the story is so amazing and like crazy. It's not.
No, but it's not a fantasy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's fucking
physics,
realistic. Okay,
the physics is real in Breaking Bad, but
no, but the story is. But that's what's amazing about Breaking Bad. I never felt like this is an den Haaren herbeigezogen. Like this is
really
sucked out of the anus. Really? Did you ever feel like I don't believe this shit anymore? I always thought
that could happen, but that's in our real world.
But that's no. But let's be consistent.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad is a realistic.
Okay. Yeah. Let's give it that.
It's not a fantasy.
So
series.
yeah, Breaking Bad, exception to bestätigt the rule.
I ruined your argument, motherfucker.
But yeah, Game of Thrones has just the right amount of fantasy to speak to me, but also is
right amount of tits.
Yeah, and the tit quota is just fun, yeah.
I never watched Game of Thrones. I'm planning to start watching it when it's done.
I'm not sure you're gonna like it. I mean, you really dislike Lord of the Rings and anything like that. Huh?
Don't say that because people are gonna hate me now.
Okay,
no, I don't dislike Lord of the Rings.
Anton jerks off to Lord of the Rings every day.
I don't dislike. That's not true. It's not true. It's not true. I don't dislike Lord of the Rings. I just can't get through movie 2. Say that.
What? That's even worse.
No. I'm saying it in a very neutral way, not as a hater. I watched the first Lord of the Rings movie. Huh? Hey, it's
okay.
It's
every
a movie.
Time I watch movie 2, I have to throw up.
No, it's not true. I tried watching movie 2 3 times and I fell asleep every time. I don't mean this. I fell asleep is so boring. I don't mean this in a rude way. Last time I watched it was like I was 16 or something. It's a long time ago.
Okay.
But I tried to watching it 3 times and I always literally fell asleep. Don't mean this in a rude way. It's very boring.
So you just put it on in the wrong circumstance, or?
I guess I always put it on in the wrong moment.
Okay.
And I would love to watch the 3rd movie. Every time I see like little excerpts from the movie, I see these huge battles. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna love.
When is this gonna happen?
I can't wait to watch the 3rd Lord of the Rings movie, but I can't get through the 2nd one. Always fall asleep. But it's been almost 10 years since I last tried it.
There's a tradition that every few years you invite a few friends and watch all 3.
You did that.
Yeah, I did. I know many other people who do that. Like every few years, you watch all of them, the extended mega cuts.
Yeah.
So 12 hours Lord of the Rings in one go.
I would love to actually do that. Try that.
You're not invited. Yeah.
But for example, Hobbit. I think Lord of the Rings fans hate Hobbit, right?
Oh, I love the Hobbit.
I think the first Hobbit was amazing. The second one was good, and the third one I hated for some.
It's pretty much like Matrix. I love like these trilogies. It's so popular to just say, well, the first one was, but then it just went down.
No, I don't see it to go along with any trend. I don't know. I don't know what the opinion is.
That's what most people. Okay. That is the trend. With every trilogy you have, it's like the first one, and then whoop.
A lot of times it is that way. Taken. First movie.
That's not even the league we're talking about.
Taken 1 was amazing. Taken 2 is oh my god, hot diarrhea, and number 3 is like what Taken movie was it when he throws grenades off the roof or something like that?
I don't know. I think that was the same.
I just watched The Commuter. With
I saw it as well.
Very good. You saw it too?
Yeah, I went to the cinema a few days after.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I really liked it.
Was good, right?
I think it was a little too much like working class hero, like when a Goldman Sachs is evil. Come on, guys, but your viewers are not that simple. Yeah, but the everything else about the movie was so well paced.
Did you not feel like the first half an hour the movie struggled to build up tension a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. You're right. Yeah, it wasn't really clear what he was doing.
Yeah, it was like, okay, what are the stakes?
Yeah,
what is the threat?
Yeah.
And then slowly it becomes clearer and clearer that okay, this is some serious shit, and the intrigue, the story in the end is pretty awesome.
It was pretty cool. Yeah.
We're not going to spoil, but
all the characters interact.
How it comes together in the end,
it's
like that's cool shit.
Kind of nice.
But also, I mean, did you laugh in this one scene with the train?
Oh, you mean that one scene with the train in a movie that is in a train?
Sorry. There's one scene in the movie where
he goes under the train.
No, that was okay. But when they had to disconnect one train from the other. If you've seen the movie, and then he they make an accident, and the movie, the first part of the train, there's basically an atom bomb explosion, and he just jumps off the train.
Oh no!
Yeah, oh no, jump! It's like, oh, I'm fine. I was laughing so hard at that scene. Did you also laugh at that? That was a bit ridiculous. But the movie was good, really. I can only recommend. Watch The Commuter. Yeah. Good movie. Weird first half an hour. Also, yeah, that was weird. The movie starts, the guy is working in his office, and he does his job, and then suddenly you're fired. Yeah.
That was also that was a little it might seem that way to many people that they're doing a fine job and then they're fired.
And maybe that was the point.
Yeah.
To be the guy has a routine because they show his life from different perspectives. Every day, and suddenly fired.
The intro was
yeah, and then suddenly he's fired.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what their point was. You're supposed to feel like him.
Mm-hmm.
Fired?
Yeah.
But for me, it was more
fired?
Fired? What?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Huh? It just felt off. Yeah. But overall, what would you give it from 0 out of 10? Give it a 7.
Yeah, 7. 7. Yeah.
That was a really good movie. Yep.
Just wanted to say, just to quickly finish that thought, I love Matrix 2 and 3 even more. I think Matrix 3 is one of the best movies that ever has seen the light of this day.
Again, I watched only the first one, and I love Matrix 1, and I'm scared of movie 2 and 3. Because
they're
when I think
extremely polarizing. Extremely polarizing.
Wait, can you talk a little bit? I have to sneeze.
So, I mean, the usual opinion is that Matrix 1 had this amazing idea, and then I don't know what people expected, but they just then hate on the second and third part, but because it focuses less on the idea and more on the action.
I'm scared I'm not going to get it.
You won't. When you first watch it, you won't get it. And that's amazing. What movie does that now?
Okay.
You're not going to get it, but that's part of the fun. You watch Matrix and then you think, oh, wait, how does this all fit together? And the third, we watched Dragon Ball. We kind of like when something is a little bit more Japanese, if you know what I mean. And the third Matrix is very Japanese. Matrix 2 and 3 are very Japanese anime style movies. And that's maybe a big reason why people dislike it. They're pretty much animes with
so you're saying you actually only like those movies for the action?
No, I think they're full on amazing. But
you even love the story.
Yeah. The way they take it. The first movie is just the idea.
The first movie actually works as a standalone movie.
Yeah, exactly. It works.
I love it. I love the first Matrix.
And then 2 and 3, they make the plot global. They hugely expand on
globalization.
I saw poop swastika.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have to catch up. I saw the fight scenes, and they're really entertaining.
A big complaint is that there's too much of them.
Too much fight scenes,
and I can kind of agree a little. Yeah, that there's really a little bit too much.
A movie that many people hated is Cloud Atlas. And I remember you and me, many people hate that movie. And you and me, we watched it in the movie theater and we were blown away by it.
That was something else, man.
But to be honest, I watched it one more time. It was just as amazing. And I watched it a third time and then it was boring. Really weird.
Well, yeah.
But usually the more I watch a movie, the more I like it. Usually, that's with me. Yeah. But the third time I watched it, I thought, kind of boring. But still for me, it's a 10 because the first impression counts. Yeah. I love Cloud Atlas. Yeah, it made me... really
mind blown. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, very good movie. Did you ever watch Scrubs?
The Doctor series? I've seen a few episodes here and there, not connected, and I laughed my ass off every time.
I'm telling you right now, Scrubs I think is in terms of shows that don't follow a strict storyline, my favorite of all time. Scrubs, I'm not joking.
Does it have a story?
Well, kind of.
Yeah, okay.
But Scrubs is really one of the funniest, best things I've ever seen in my life. I think I watched through the whole thing. Last season doesn't count. I think at least eight times. I think I love it so much.
The humor in Scrubs, it's kind of like the humor you have in your videos, like this cutting and editing humor. It's like
so goofy.
I wonder how this would be, and then they cut, and then I love it. I think it's just so awesome.
I really fucking love Scrubs. One of the best things that ever came out of television. I also love King of Queens. You know King of Queens?
my wife
Kevin
loves
James.
it. I'm not 100% behind it.
I love it.
I think it's a little bit too cringy.
No, I think the great thing about King of Queens is it's a couple. A fat guy and a skinny woman, and they're working class. They actually don't have problems, and they bring every problem upon themselves.
Exactly. And that's why I can't bear to see.
They have this perfect sort of average life, but because they're so funny,
they're so average.
I love them so much. And also another thing, do you know Malcolm in the Middle?
Yeah.
As a boy, you have to love it.
Yeah.
The four brothers.
It never caught really
I
caught
love
into
it
me.
so much. I remember when I was a child watching it, I was like, this is so funny. I love Malcolm in the Middle. Do you have any other favorite shows?
One that's similar to Scrubs in the way that it presents itself is Family Guy. It also has this kind of this humor that's like cutting to something else entirely. That's I just love that kind of humor. I think Family Guy is
very funny.
Awesome. And then, since we're talking about cartoons, Rick and Morty, the alpha of all.
Okay.
For me.
Actually, it's amazing because I didn't think about it, but let's talk about Rick and Morty because I think there's something that you don't know. Because
what do I don't know?
Wait, people are gonna hate on you because I think I'm more up to date with pop culture. Do you know do you know that something happened? Rick and Morty is a fantastic show. And then I saw a video suddenly out of nowhere from PewDiePie. And in this video, PewDiePie started to hate on Rick and Morty fans or on certain Rick and Morty fans. And ever since then,
didn't dare.
And he was talking about how Rick and Morty has the most toxic fan base. And for me, this came out of nowhere. I was like, what? What? For me, I'm not a PewDiePie hater. I think he's great. Okay? No, calm down. But this, I don't understand, and I still don't get it. Like now, if you make jokes, Rick and Morty references and jokes, you get hated on. And he shows all these people, like for example, some people are pretentious about Rick and Morty. You have to have such a high IQ to understand it. But I don't get, why are you, what does it have to do with anything? Or people making little Rick and Morty skits that are cringy. So what? These are fans of Rick and Morty. These are children. Let them do their skits. Where's the big fucking deal? I don't get this sort of hating on the fan base thing. So what?
So what's toxic about
it? People are saying now that Rick and Morty has the most toxic fan base, apparently. And this is something what I don't understand. How the fuck does it matter? Now you're not allowed to make Pickle Rick jokes.
Wait, so you saw that video from PewDiePie? And
he made fun of Rick and Morty fans. Yeah. I still don't quite get it. And I thought, in my beautiful, perfect world, everything was fine until that day when I realized, okay, apparently now Rick and Morty fans are toxic. I didn't know about this.
You looked at yourself and you realized you
are
toxic.
That was just weird and something that I don't agree with. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
Thanks for telling me, shit.
Now I'm telling you right now, if you make Rick and Morty reference and jokes, people are gonna hate on you because apparently.
Come on.
It's something what I don't understand.
No.
I really don't get it.
PewDiePie can't stop me.
I was actually slightly disappointed in season 3. And I don't think it had something to do with high expectations. Because I watched through all 3 seasons again, and I think that season 3 has some episodes that are really a little subpar. That weren't.
For example?
Wait, don't ask me about example.
I think season 3 was the best season yet.
Really? What was?
The one episode in the Citadel of Ricks, that was this huge LA crash movie condensed into a single episode of just 20 minutes. That was the most amazing thing I ever saw in cartoons.
That was the episode
where there's an election and there are multiple episodes of people, multiple storylines.
I saw that a lot of people. This is one of the most beloved episodes.
Yeah, I think I
have to watch it again because
it's amazing that it's even possible to.
I have to watch it again because I remember it totally didn't click with me.
Yeah,
I remember the first episode of season 3 is one of the best things I've ever seen.
The Rick breaks out of prison. Oh my god,
this episode is
And there's so much in the episode. I found myself just stopping the episode, just looking at the backgrounds of the settings. Like,
this episode is not only fucking hilarious, but it's fast. It's smart. It's
Szechuan sauce.
Season episode 2 I think was not good. This Mad Max episode, that was really boring. I thought.
Yeah, that was kind of boring. Like the whole the family getting over the divorce thing was a little. I mean, didn't have to make 5 episodes to.
I hope that they're actually going some way with the story. I hope they don't want to fall into the trap of endless status quo. I hope that they're trying to find an ending to Rick and Morty. I think a good show needs to have a good beginning and a good ending, and needs to have an ending in mind. Now I want to talk about, and maybe I'm gonna get some hate, but whatever.
you have to preface every of your
Aussagen
with maybe I will get it.
No, it's fine. But H3H3, you know H3H3?
Don't know the channel, just heard the name.
I'll show you very fast. I don't have a screen capture anymore because that.
Klein.
You know this guy?
Is he Deutsch?
No, he's Jewish.
Okay.
Ethan Klein, this guy. And I think, to be honest, if you're watching this, one day you will, because I'm gonna be the biggest YouTuber. No. This is one of my favorite channels, probably my favorite channel on YouTube, and the only person on YouTube where I say, I think he would be my friend. Like, if I met this guy in real life, I think we would be friends.
Okay.
Maybe that's a very good marketing from his side, making him appear this way.
Yeah.
But he's like such a genuine, cool guy. He talks about, things that are happening, YouTube trends, such a real person. And, him and his wife, so real, approachable people. Love their channels. The only person I would say, hey, I'm a fan of this as a person. Like, Review Bra, the guy last time, the guy's a living meme.
Yeah, and he's a lizard.
And he's proved that lizard people are here to help us. But I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
But this guy, Ethan and H3H3, like those are real people, and I really like them. But please don't hate on me. Recently, I feel like something happened to him or to them, because they made videos a while ago about stop getting triggered. Where they complain about people getting triggered all the time.
That they are getting triggered by people getting triggered.
No, but they made it in a really cool way. Okay. Like, really good way, like, relax.
Yeah.
Stop getting triggered by everything. Let's just have some fun and don't take everything so serious. And he's a huge Filthy Frank fan. So, the kind of humor and iDubbbz and stuff like that, just like me. And recently, I watched a video. He was doing his podcast. He has a huge podcast. He's talking about Logan Paul. And
as every other YouTuber.
I'm not joking. I'm slowly but surely becoming sympathetic to Logan Paul. And I don't do this to be contrarian or any bullshit, but like, if Logan Paul got his channel completely demonetized.
Yeah, that was...
and honestly, also, he complained about him selling merch. Do they sell merch in a very aggressive way towards children? Yes. But also, I think, so what?
Yeah, so he buys a t-shirt. Like
so a child wants a t-shirt. Yeah. And what?
Yeah.
Jake Paul, his brother, I don't think he's very funny. He does a merch song where he's like, buy that merch. It's funny, it's a meme, the guy's an idiot. But so fucking what?
Exactly.
And even if it's advertised towards children, many things are advertised towards children. Disney advertises their shit to children.
I mean, yeah.
And you're the parent. You don't want them to watch. I don't know. I feel like you're overstated. You can criticize them, obviously. But now H3 is getting outraged by everything that Logan does. Logan Paul,
you could say he's getting triggered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now I feel like he's slowly starting to get triggered by everything. And I'm thinking, Logan Paul, he did a vlog when he tasered a dead rat.
Yeah.
For me, this is funny.
Okay.
And because Filthy Frank did a video when he cooked dead rats. He went to trash cans in New York, got dead rats, and put them in the wrap and made a food like this. And this shit is... How is that different? Yeah. And Ethan's argument was, it's a different time. And I'm thinking, what kind of argument is that? Do you think Filthy Frank is funny or not funny anymore? And he said himself, he thinks that because of YouTube demonetization, edgy creators are not going to be able to make it anymore, and he thinks that sucks. While at the same time complaining if Logan Paul does something a little bit edgy.
And that's you touched on that in the last episode, I think, where people are digging. YouTube is digging their own graves.
By constantly pointing out, hey, this is not okay. This is not okay. This is not okay.
Yeah.
And also Logan Paul, he got a dead fish out of his pond and tried to reanimate him.
And the guy keeps doing awesome.
when you watch his videos, it's made in a funny way, and it's obviously a comedic context.
Yeah.
Is it mostly children that watch his videos? Yes. And I do think there's some... I'm trying to be nuanced here, because Filthy Frank is more obviously a character than Logan Paul is. Like, there is some truth to that. Filthy Frank is an obviously obscene character.
It's not even his name.
Yes, Logan Paul is not. So that's true. And so I'm not trying to, be like black and white. I'm trying to get this right. So yes, Logan Paul he advertised himself as the person that he is. He is himself.
Yeah.
His videos are obviously in a comedic context, but now H3 is getting outraged about everything that guy does. I'm like, stop it. Stop.
Is he still doing stuff now that he's being...
Who's still doing stuff?
Logan Paul.
Yeah, he's still vlogging. And I think he got ads even back on his channel now.
Oh, so the outrage
It's
thing
like
is kind of over, or...
I think it's kind of over, but now I feel a little bit sorry for him, because now he can't do anything anymore.
Yeah.
He's obviously doing comedic vlogs that are funny. I watch them sometimes. To be honest, I out myself. I think, that was some funny editing.
Yeah.
That was funny. The way he did it, that was funny. And now he's getting hated on with everything he does.
Oh, that sucks, man. And like, it's kind of in to shit on people that are successful or big, but he's just a human, man. It's guys, come on.
Yeah.
Chill the fuck out.
I also think, like, Ethan, like, you're better than this. Stop getting outraged so much. You're becoming the triggered person that you don't want people to be. Let the guy fucking vlog. And the thing is, now again, to get more on Ethan's side, I think daily vloggers are dead inside. I think that you become dead inside. Logan Paul, the guy is dead inside. I really do think so in a way. I'm saying he's funny. It doesn't mean I like him. I think the guy is... he's a shell of a human being.
100%. Yeah. It's when you're a daily vlogger, the moment you turn off the camera, you stop existing, man.
The line becomes so blurry. I think it does something psychologically to your brain. What's very interesting. Another vlogger, Jesse Wellens, actually talked about this on the H3 podcast about what vlogging did to him. Yeah. And he started to not understand anymore. Wait, am I doing this for the vlog, or am I doing this because I want to do it?
Yeah.
And it got so far even about having children and marrying. You don't understand anymore. Wait, am I getting married because I can't wait to vlog it?
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Like, am I living in an...
Yes, it sounds funny, but I actually do think it's a real issue. Because you start to don't know anymore. Wait, am I doing this to entertain people, or is this my life?
Yeah.
And then Jesse Wellens stopped vlogging. So this is... he didn't stop, but he stopped daily vlogging.
Yeah.
And I do think that if you daily vlog, you become... the lines become so blurry, you don't know what the fuck is happening to you anymore.
I haven't even thought about it.
I also want to start vlogging in the future, but I want to do it like maybe once or twice a week. Have a concept, maybe do something funny or something interesting. But if you daily vlog, you come dead inside. The guy filmed a dead body. What a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You know, the guy's beyond repair probably in his head. But you don't have to watch it. And he does funny shit sometimes in his videos. Leave him be. Leave him the fuck. So I hope I didn't just end my career. I think that's my 2 cents on it. But fuck, the battery's empty. We didn't talk about science.
No, I had the best science. Oh,
fuck!
goddammit.
What the fuck is wrong with this camera, mother chut? I think we have to get another battery. Turn this camera off and then move this camera towards Andy. We're not gonna stop the podcast. We're not gonna stop until the batteries are all dead. Okay, so let's talk into science, because this is guys. Nothing. Okay, now take the camera and turn it to Andy. We're not gonna make this podcast end. We're gonna talk about science. Yeah, and what you can do. Wait. Andy, you can start talking about science. Start talking.
Okay. So the topic today that I thought about. Last time I had a topic that was a little bit connected to video games or maybe something else, but this time it's still back to more just science, no connection to video games or anything. And the question I wanted to ask today is, do atoms ever touch?
Ooh, saucy!
So when you first hear this question, you might think, oh, duh. Like when you touch the table,
when you touch your dick.
Of course, you're touching your finger is touching the table. But actually, when you zoom in and zoom in and zoom in, does that actually apply all the way? And there was a few years back, there's this one channel I advertised last time that's called 60 Symbols. It's a science channel of the University of Nottingham, and they did a video on it once where a physics professor was asked the question, do atoms ever touch? And the video like degenerated into a whole, what I'm telling you, people got very triggered, and the question didn't get resolved because the two parties were talking past each other. And since then, it's always been on my mind because I wanted to resolve this issue. I wanted to answer this question correctly. And the answer to this question is, there is no answer. Because touching is actually something that has no meaning when you're looking at atoms. Because usually when people ask this question naively, they think, well, yeah, atoms are like hard spheres and then they bump into each other, so they touch. But atoms aren't hard spheres. If you zoom in to the point where you see individual atoms, and if you look at the models we have for atoms, you realize, well, wait a minute, there's nothing solid in there. An atom, like the smallest particles, they're not spheres. They're not even things. Like you can really.
But the core of the atom has a mass, and
it has a mass.
It has a mass, and it
has a volume, but it doesn't actually have a boundary. It's not like. It's not like a sphere where you say this is the boundary, and after that there's no more, and before there's everything.
Okay.
And then, of course, every atom, I'm sure you guys know, it has a core and it has electrons circling around it. And before there's anything concerning the cores, before cores can even do anything, there's a law in the universe that prevents atom cores from getting very close to each other.
Except if you shoot them against each other.
Except if you use very high energies. And that thing is pretty much the thing that's preventing things from ever really touching. Because, the thing that could be able to touch, because it has a volume, is maybe the atomic core. But before that can happen, they get pushed away from each other by something that I will explain in just a minute. So the question, do atoms ever really touch, is kind of, well, what do you think is really, what are the things coming into contact with each other? The definition of touching doesn't apply in this scale of things. And the thing that's preventing the atomic cores from touching is the so-called Pauli exclusion principle.
Okay.
And that's so important, so fundamental. It's right now it's preventing you from falling through your chair and the building and the ground into the core of the earth, and it's also preventing you from falling through yourself.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the thing that prevents things from going through one another.
Okay.
And it happens because every electron
density.
It happens because of the electrons that surround the atomic core. Electrons are so-called fermions because they follow a certain statistic. If you have many electrons, they line up in a certain statistical way that you can predict. And this statistic says no two electrons that have the same energy can be in the same point or can occupy the same space at the same time. So when you have an electron with energy 1, and then another electron comes along that has the same energy, it pushes the other one away. Or, that they can't be in the same place at the same time. Mm-hmm. There are other particles that can do that. They are called bosons. They can have the same energy. And this force that keeps electrons from being at the same place at the same time, this Pauli exclusion force, is pretty much what keeps everything from going through everything. Because the atomic core is so small, they wouldn't really collide with anything. So if you put your hand on the desk, or if you sit down on a chair, the atomic cores of the chair and the atomic cores of your butt don't touch.
So the majority of the mass doesn't touch.
Yeah.
The masses don't touch.
Masses don't touch. The thing that keeps you from... So the atomic cores never touch. The thing that
the reason why this mouse doesn't fall through the table
are the electrons. And the electrons
that are pushing, that are.
It's the Pauli exclusion principle that keeps pretty much the electrons of your mouse floating above the things of the table.
Okay, so what does that say about masturbation?
Masturbation.
So
yeah. So the question of if things are really ever touching kind of doesn't make sense because we're not talking about hard spheres. Instead, we're talking about like electrons. Usually they come in form of clouds and they have no clear boundary. You can't say the electron is here or it is not there. Mm-hmm. you can't say it's up to this radius, there's an electron, and then there's no one. So touching with something that has no boundary, that's not even a question. It doesn't. It has no sense. There's no sensible thing to it.
What happens if you shoot one atom towards the other?
And that's what they're doing in particle colliders.
And in atom bombs also, right?
Not.
Wie sagt man Atomspaltung?
There's nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. In fusion, the thing I just talked about there's so much energy that the cores can actually bypass this repulsive Pauli force.
And they're hitting each other.
And then they might be actually touching.
And when cores touch, then
they fuse. It depends on what cores they are, but usually it's energetically better for them if they fuse into one core. And that's, I mean, you could say, okay, under these circumstances, they do touch.
So how hard do I have to punch somebody in order to actually touch him?
Yeah, you have to punch him with, I think, 99% of the speed of light.
So actually, guys, Mayweather did not touch McGregor.
Yeah, no.
He didn't fucking touch him.
No.
So you haters, back off.
If you are in a restaurant and you see a beautiful waitress, smack her on the ass,
don't say.
You didn't touch her.
Okay, no. Don't do that, okay?
Do that.
The police don't know science, okay?
But yeah, I mean...
I also wanted to talk today about favorite music. Fuck. Let's do it next time.
Next time.
Booba. It's Booba.
We have I know, the next podcast will be even longer.
That's 1.5 hours. 1.5 hour, 40 minutes. Okay, let's stop it right here. Okay. Yeah, that was Ranton podcast number 3. That was amazing. That was so much fun. Love you guys. Love all your support.
Play Path of Exile.
And lighten up and have fun. Yeah, that's the message. Okay, bye.
Goodbye.